Hello listeners, Cuthbert speaking. Happy New Year! I am here to remind you that just before we took our break at the end of 2023 we were able to share with you the good news that we had been able to successfully rescue Ikk the alien from the other dimension. He was returned whilst still in suspended animation and needed to be thawed out before he'd be back to normal. However, there are one or two things that only you the listeners have heard about Ikk's happy return. Things that apparently might be rather more unhappy. Luckily I can replay you what you heard before we took our end of year break, only I will be unable to compute any of the information myself, because that's how storytelling works on this show. Anyway, have a quick listen back to our enemy's plans over in the other dimension, and then our adventures will continue!
Meanwhile, in the alternate dimension.
Thank you, narrated guy. Anyways, boy, we sure fooled them. We put one over on them, didn't we?
We did, yes. I believe they've returned safely to their own dimension.
Without a clue as to what's really going on.
No. I'm just thinking, it feels like the right time to just sort of bathe in our own glory and kind of maybe mention what our evil plan actually is.
Yeah, go ahead and tell him.
Well, this is how it will be. Once Ikk has been revived in a matter of days or weeks, it will trigger off a setting in him. It'll be subconscious, but in practice he will be a killing machine.
Yeah, killing machine.
A killing machine.
Wait, let's do some evil laughter.
A killing machine. He will be triggered by a certain word. Yes. Mm-hmm. Once he has then killed all the cast of the Shy Life podcast, and maybe some of the Smellcast, depending if they're about. Once he has done lots of evil killing, he will then explode, destroying the whole area. Maybe even destroying Pickle Hollow as well. It depends if we can manage it. He's not, anyway, it's going to be a really big bang. So.
That explosion might even take out their whole dimension. We don't know.
Yes, exactly. It's a really big plan and a really big bomb.
Because we're evil.
Yes,
we're great.
Very evil, very evil. And, it's worked out so well. Oh, I think I forgot to say what the trigger word is.
Oh.
Can you remember?
I can. I got it right. No, I don't remember.
No, well, the trigger word which will cause the explosion and the killing machine is the word Phoenix. Because they have phoenixes. Yes, and also they don't talk about phoenixes all the time, so it's not something that would happen immediately. And it means that listeners will be like, "Oh gosh, they're going to say it. This guy thought it'd be quite good to have phoenix." Anyway, yes, everything is very evil.
F-E-E-N-I-X.
No, P-H-O-E-N-I-X.
Oh,
it's a silent PH. Oh, yeah, silent PH is trigger word.
Phoenix.
I mean, no. I wonder if do they have alternate dimension fleas?
They must. Evil fleas. No. Yeah.
Or maybe they're really nice fleas.
Hello. Today we'd like to do something evil, crazy. We're going to jump on a puppy and stroke its hair. The lovely pussycat.
What are we talking about? We're evil. We're evil. We're very evil.
Please.
So, yes. So basically, to sum up, Ikk wakes up.
Stepped on one of them.
Just to sum up,
because I'm evil.
Yes. Just to sum up, Ikk wakes up. And he's a killing machine, trigger word, Phoenix, then lots of killing, explosion. That's coming up on the Shy Life podcast in the next few months. So. Very evil.
Why have I got horns? Oh no. Oh well.
How are you? Hope you're fine. This is the Shy Geeky Show.
10, 9, 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Good luck, studio.
Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Oh, there's going to be some drama ahead.
All I wanted was a pie, and then I hatched out of an egg.
Okay, bring the mic over. He's ready to record.
I see your mental condition is improving.
Is it metaphorical? Is it deep? Is it deep?
Boy, he's not all that shy, is right.
Blimey, Governor, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, Paul.
Quack, quack, quack.
I don't know how he does it.
Excellent. 9898 698.
698. Bonjour et bienvenue au podcast The Shy Life.
Hello. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shy Life Podcast with me, Paul the Shy Yeti. How are you doing? I'm alright. So, what's this episode going to be about? Well, you probably won't be too surprised to learn that it's going to be about the return of Ikk'S to our show. Although, as you'll see at the start of the episode, he was still very much preserved. I mean, really, if you haven't been following the story, you really should listen back an episode or two to hear the episode where Toppy and I rescued Ikk'S from the other dimension. We were like, oh, so heroic. Yeah, I surprised myself. So yeah, we went back to the other dimension and we brought him home. There was a little bit of bargaining going on. Toppy had to teach them magic, but anyway, Ikk'S had been in suspended animation. He'd been trying to escape too many times. Good on him, I say. But anyway, he's home now, back in his spaceship, but in suspended animation. And Cromitty will be slowly bringing him back to us. But anyway, let's run that theme music. When we come back, you can see what's been going on. All right, run that theme music.
Darling, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Yes, well, it's a positive thing, Paul. The High Life, the Shy Life.
I'll go anywhere for a potato.
Delicious.
Hello, campers. How are you? You quite like a big bang, don't you?
Good gracious. Well, that's a whopper.
Oh, yippee.
Go Shy Yeti.
Oh, he hasn't found out my secret. I think he has.
I love the Yeti test. It's my favorite thing.
If you thought that was bad, just listen to this.
Yeah, I'm strangely drawn to Yeti Andrew John's ankles as well.
I could eat my body weight in crisps every day.
Has anyone seen my hot sausage?
It's all gooey and juicy. Yum, 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 yum.
Here comes the grizzly.
It's the Shy Life Podcast.
I can't wait for it to begin.
I like that. Yeah.
Look, Mommy, I'm famous.
Marvellous. Marvellous, Paul.
Hi there.
Paul, I can't believe he's home. I know. It's quite something, isn't it? Yes, Paul, you were so heroic. You and Toppy. Oh, I was so mad at you. You know, when you went rushing off. I hope you don't mind that I took your device. It's okay, you brought it back. I mean, we needed to know that it was the real Ikk'S, not an imposter that we were bringing home. Yes, and things like this, you know, that they establish a fact that, you know, could otherwise have been a question mark in the listener's mind. Exactly, Paul. No, this device is foolproof. Yeti Uncle John proof. Oh, Cromitty, don't let me hear you say that. Oh, I know, but, well, it's true. Have you been able to, thoroughly examine him? Make sure he's okay when he finally emerges from his slumber? Well, no, not yet, Paul, not properly. Because it's difficult to do proper medical examinations when somebody is completely, frozen in ice. And that's exactly what he is, isn't he? It's like he's been frozen, put in suspended animation. I was quite surprised. I guess I just thought they had given him some sort of, injection and hooked him up to a load of feeding devices or whatever. No. I mean, there is some of that, but intrinsically he has been frozen in a block of ice, which you're now slowly thawing. Yes, Paul, that's why it's taking some time. We have to do it quite slowly. Listeners, it's been a day or two or more now since we got back, and understandably there's quite a lot of concern for Ikk and when he'll be fully back to normal. I mean, we don't exactly know, when he was kidnapped. We've established he was kidnapped on one of his weekends away with Sister Oo. That's another thing, Paul. We've still not had a reply from Ikk'S. No, this is very true. I believe Ikk was in occasional contact with him, but Ikk'S, for those of you who don't know, listeners, Ikk'S is Ikk's child, but Ikk's is travelling the universe with his ukulele band. So we don't see him very often. Yes, I do feel sorry for Ikk. Yes, so do I. He wanted to be a more hands-on parent, I think. Yes. Well, anyway, understandably there's a lot of concern. Yes, we know that he was kidnapped on one of those visits to Sister Oo, but we don't quite know which one. We kind of hope, presume, that the more grumpy Ikk that we encountered at the start of the year was the fake Ikk, the other dimensional Ikk, trying to cause problems, bringing up, complaints about contracts and things. We hope that's the situation. Yes, Paul. Oh dear. So we kind of hope when we get the real Ikk back, that he won't want to leave us. Or I think, once he knows that you have rescued him as well, I think whatever, I don't think he'll want to leave. He'll be grateful. Yeah, well, I still think it was the other dimensional troublesome Ikk that was the one that was going on about contracts. Ikk's never mentioned anything like that before, not our Ikk. Yes, you know what, Paul? It always did seem a little bit strange, that Ikk suddenly became so grumpy. It really wasn't like him. Be worried about money or payment or anything like that. I think you might be right. Yeah. I mean, it's true. We do use him as a bit of a taxi driver. A bit like I use my dad when I go back to Salisbury. If I want to go and see Nick, Dad will drop me down there. If I want to go and see my old friend Bernie for a coffee, my dad will drop me down there. And he's 84, Paul. I know he is. Well, we send Ikk over to pick up Toppy Smelly, and he has never grumbled. Well, not until more recently. Yeah, I mean, it's been lucky that he left that mini-pod. Well, perhaps you can still use that and not rely so much on Ikk. It is very cramped, but, anyway. So what's the next step? Well, I mean, we're probably looking at least another week, maybe 2, of thawing him out. That long? Yes, I'm afraid so, Paul. Well, I know, some of his friends are coming to visit today. It's the first time we've allowed anyone to come and visit him. But I think that's a good thing, Paul. He may be suspended, but I feel like he'll be able to understand or hear the voices. It will reassure him and bring him back to consciousness. You think so? Oh yes, Paul, definitely. Well, we've not got everybody coming at once. We thought that might be a bit too much. But, yeah. But yes, that's what is happening this episode, listeners. Everyone's coming to see Ikk. You haven't heard anything more from the other dimension? No, and I don't expect to. We did our deal. Toppy Smelly shared his magic secrets with them. That was the agreement. It all seems too easy to me, though. That's the thing. What do you mean? Well, I mean, they gave you back Ikk in return for some magic lessons. Why could they have not got a book? Well, learning magic from a book, it's not the same. Yes, but where do you think Toppy Smelly first learned his magic? Well, from TV, watching people on TV? Well, maybe he did, Paul, but I would be surprised if he didn't learn it from a book as well. Well, Toppy has a natural talent, unlike Yeti Uncle John, who just likes sawing ladies in half. Yes, well, I mean, if the other dimensional people have some other plan, then I don't know what it is. They've given us back what we wanted. They didn't, hold me hostage. I could see that I was falling to bits. Yes, but it's true. I don't know. Perhaps they just wanted some drama. Their end, Perhaps. But, no, I think you're worrying needlessly. I think everything will be fine. Oh, I suppose so, Paul. Meanwhile, in the other dimension, the other dimensional Paul and the other dimensional Ikk discuss their true plans.
Your evil plans are so evil.
I know. They are, aren't they? I like to drag these things out.
Yes. Well, it makes me chuckle to think that do-gooder, that normal dimensional Ikk, he really will get his comeuppance with a bang.
Yes, you're not wrong. Other dimensional Ikk, yes.
Why did you tell me exactly what the plan is again?
Tell you what the plan is? Well, why not? Celebrate my great wisdom. Yes, well, the normal dimension Ikk has an implant. Yes, once he recovers, once he returns to his usual self, once he has come out of suspended animation, he is basically a ticking time bomb.
Marvelous.
Yes, just one word. One word will trigger the bomb, and there will be no Ikk and nobody else in that godforsaken town.
Oh, gosh, yes. Marvelous. How do we know he will be the victim of the bomb?
Well, we don't. I'm not sure I care. Still, it's very dramatic. And certainly, it'll be the end of Ikk.
Oh, marvelous. And what is the magic word?
The magic trigger word is Phoenix. Yes.
But why that word?
Because it's a word that will definitely be used a great deal over the next few weeks and months. Somebody is bound to say it in Ikk's earshot.
And once he hears the word, how long before the bomb explodes?
Oh, less than an hour. Less than an hour.
Marvelous.
We will hear the explosion from here.
Even in another dimension.
Even in another dimension.
I remember on the toilet when it happens.
No, I hope not, but you don't have to think about that.
I'm sorry. It's just, it's good to know, isn't it?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
Sorry, evil Paul.
That's okay, evil Ikk. I think that's all I have to say for now.
Yes, I understand. Sorry. I shouldn't have said nothing about the toilet. I'm always so practical.
Yes, you are. It's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, back in the normal dimension. Well, listeners, the visitors are about to arrive. We've got tea and biscuits set up. Yes, I got some nice ones. Yes, not like those ones they used to have from Dan FM, don't worry. No. Oh dear, I'd rather not think about that. I know, Paul. Oh dear. I'm glad to see that you have done more diary episodes of late, though. Because no matter what some people think, I find them interesting. Or thank you. Thank you, Cromitty. Listeners, are you there? Yeah, well, I think before the visitors start to arrive, we'll share with you some clips or a quiz or a chat or something, maybe some Sutton Park. We will have more Sutton Park soon. I've got plenty to share with you. Anyway, it seems like a good excuse to share something. It does. We can just make sure we get everything ready. Yes, Paul. Have a listen, listeners. Yes, have a listen, and we'll be back soon. Oh yes. have Uncle Warren here. Hi, Uncle Warren. How are you doing?
Hi, Nephew Paul. How are you?
I'm all right. I wanted to ask you some questions because it's that time of the show.
Is it that time of the show? Is there just you and me here? Is it that kind of question?
You, me and the listeners, but yeah, pretty much just you and me. Don't worry about
I'm all right if you're all right with me, listeners.
Yeah.
You can't see me winking, but I was winking there.
I'm going to ask...
Winking. I know what you were thinking. I said winking.
We're not that sort of show. Not this episode, anyway.
No.
I'm going to ask you some never have I ever questions, although I tend to cut that down to... Because I get confused with that. I'm just going to ask you, have you ever done something or not done something?
Have I ever?
I might ask you some of those...
This is like confession. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
I might ask you some of the would you rather ones as well. Ooh, would you rather?
Would you rather? Ooh.
So I'll just ask you: have you ever coloured your hair a crazy colour, or any colour?
Well, yes, I did. I went when we had a hairdressers in our village. I went in, and it's the 80s. So the trendy thing was to have sort of spiky stand-up hair, not too standy up, but spiky, floppy hair, and have it highlighted. And I had mine highlighted. But I had mousy coloured hair and it didn't really look right. And I was really disappointed because I was really looking forward to having blonde highlights in my hair. I mean, my head looked like an oven-ready turkey about to go into the oven with a tin foil around it. And then I was starting to have sort of second thoughts going, yeah, this isn't a good idea. I don't really want a tin foil on my hair. But they said they would do it for nothing because it was an apprentice who was working there. I thought, okay, well, let's give it a go. And... My mousy hair was not mousy enough, wasn't dark enough, really. And so when they had the highlights in there, they weren't really that noticeable. And I was really disappointed. So I'm sorry, I haven't got any other sort of story to go with that. I don't have any hair now, but to be honest, I would like to turn the whole of my hair blonde. I'd always wanted to be blonde, so I'd like the stubbly hair to be all blonde now on my head. Either that or blue. No, definitely not a blue rinse, but I like the colour blue. A lightish blue.
I never coloured my hair. In fact, the only time I
the chest hair's colour is going grey.
I had a friend whose beard was stubble.
Paul, it's all right. You're amongst friends here. I had a friend.
His stubble was going grey, and he wasn't sure if he wanted to dye his beard. And he said, "Why don't we dye yours and see how it looked?" Well, I wasn't as grey as him at the time, but so I just let him dye my beard. And so for a week or two, I went back to not having a little grey patch in my beard, whereas now it's almost all grey. But anyway, having seen me, he decided not to bother with dyeing his beard. So
that's a shame.
And it's like I could be of some help. Some of these questions I've got here, one of them is not even. There's no point even asking really. I presume that you have watched a movie with subtitles. Is that so unusual? I wouldn't have thought so.
For me, it is. Yeah, I've watched. I really have to be in that mood for a subtitle movie. I think the last subtitle movie I watched was the original Godzilla. Oh, fantastic film. It really is. But I really have to be in a mood for a subtitle film because I don't know. When I watch films, I just want to relax. And I think you need to put that extra effort into the subtitle film, don't you?
Yeah, I quite enjoy them. And one of my favourite, the film I often say is my favourite film, Amelie, is a subtitle film.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We've looked at Amelie. Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of the giallos are either dubbed or subtitled.
The dubbed film's fine. I love a dubbed film. I think a dubbed giallo is great fun.
I'm quite excited that as a fan of Woody Allen, that his latest film, when that eventually comes out, he's done it in French. So that'll be a subtitle.
Oh, wow. Whatever history he's had, you have to admit that he is a fantastic director.
Yeah, and and even his lesser films are better than a lot of people's best films.
Yes, no, quite so.
And yeah, well, I could go on all day about how badly he's been treated, but there we won't today. But I still like his films, and yeah, I mean, sometimes his scripts of more late sort of perhaps expose that he's a little bit behind on technology, and he doesn't really seem to have somebody who comes in and kind of goes, oh, that would sound better if you sort of, people aren't still writing their scripts on typewriters and things like that. Not if you're saying the film's set in 2023, which he has done before now.
Yeah.
But sometimes the odd return of phrase can seem a bit weird, or sometimes it could just be, yes, you're being a bit picky, but how many 16-year-olds are big fans of jazz? Yes, Woody, we know you love jazz, but I bet there are some 16-year-olds who love jazz. But I think my Woody Allen brain kind of goes and says, Woody, that's because you just know about jazz. So everybody has to be a fan of jazz, no matter how. Maybe I'm being unfair. But what I did think when I saw the trailer for his new film was that in French it sounded really good, and none of the sort of, having not seen the whole film yet, I don't know, but it sounded good, and I won't be noticing if there are any sort of clunky lines as much, because I'll be reading the subtitles, and perhaps so I kind of like the idea of, because I think it's a thriller, so yeah, I think it's going to be quite fun. Have you ever spilled a drink all over yourself? I mean, most people have, but
oh gosh, yes, yeah. Usually, you do it where you never do it when you're wearing what I would say casual clothing and relaxed at home. It's always when you're running around and you're dressed up in your finery. You either do it just before you go out or at the event that you're at. I'm the one that falls into the category of I'll do it at the event I'm at and make a right pills of it. That is it. I don't do it before I go. I always end up doing it whilst I'm there, and it won't be sort of a drink like, it's a glass of white wine. It'd be like red wine down my white shirt. Yeah, I'm clumsy like that.
One of the times I can think of where I didn't drop it down myself, but I was on a date and we were both quite nervous, and then he spilt his drink down himself at the pub, or knocked the drink over, and so that was perfect, because then I was able to be, oh, don't worry, let me get you another one, and I felt I was, I mean, poor guy, it must have been awful for him, because I must have been one of the first people he'd ever gone on a date with, but I think I was able to make him sort of feel reassured. And as far as I had been just as nervous probably as him, but suddenly I was on the good footing where I could make him feel better, and I knew that at least I could do as bad as him now. I could spill my drink, and we would only be even. So it actually gave me more confidence.
It's a real good icebreaker, though, isn't it? We're human.
Let me see. Let's see some would you rather questions. I
like a good would you rather. Remember, as listeners, it's only you and me.
Would you rather stub your toe or get a paper cut?
God, I'd rather stub my toe. I get paper cuts a lot, and I really hate them. Really hate them. I'm also very clumsy, and I didn't realise that I recently got I was diagnosed as being an autistic spectrum disorder, and part of that is stubbing your toe. Part of that is walking into things. I'm really good at walking into things when I mean, I can fall over on a straight line. I can slip up on a level floor. But yeah, I do it on a regular basis, about 2-3 times a week. I will go into the bedroom and I will stub my toe on the end of the bed. Although there's plenty of room, but I always stub my toe on the end of the bed. Paper cuts, I really hate paper cuts because they hurt for a while. I'm a bit of a wuss with that. The blood I can cope with, but the stinging, I don't like the stinging. And, you stab your toe, then it's an instantaneous thing, isn't it? And you might say a profanity or two. And then, it's not going to hurt so much after a while, is it? But paper cuts, they're a bit lasting, and they remind you that you've been an idiot with a bit of paper, for goodness sake.
Sometimes you sort of forget that you've done it, and then perhaps you get something like with lemon juice or something, or a bit
lemon juice. Yes, I was thinking lemon juice. Yeah, and it's like it's like sunburn. That's like sunburn, isn't it? You forget you have sunburn, and then you just put something. You lean against something or put something on it, and they're like, it hurts. Stop the pain.
What about this one? Would you rather be at a 4-hour concert of a band you hate, or a 4-hour dinner with a person you dislike?
Well, I think I've done the last one. I would definitely go with the 4-hour dinner with a person I dislike. I can't. I mean, many moons ago, probably about 25 years ago. Would it have been 25? About 25 years ago. I went to a concert with somebody, and it was, do you know, the name's got on my head now. Brian, it's not May.
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams. I really didn't want to be there. But, I'm polite, and I went, and, a couple of songs were like, yeah. And then it was just, please, it was open air in Hyde Park, and I was praying for a lightning bolt. It wasn't 4 hours long, thank goodness. No. I think I probably would have ate my internals just to take me away from it all.
Although one of the times I went to see Dave Gilmour from Pink Floyd, and that wasn't my cup of tea, I was very lucky because the encore happened to be David Bowie.
Brilliant!
And it like one of what turned out to be one of his last ever live concerts. Or appearances. Yeah. He only, after he had his heart attack, he only did about 2 or 3 appearances, and I don't think that was the only night that David Gilmour was playing. So had I gone on another night, I wouldn't have seen him. So right time, right place. But I really hadn't particularly wanted to go. But again, that wasn't 4 hours, and it was at the Royal Albert Hall, so nice venue to go to. But
I haven't done much live music. I'd like to do more live music, but I've got no one to go with. If anyone's available, give us a ring.
I used to do a lot, but I can't really do it these days because I can't do all the standing up for hours. But,
Gloria Estefan I got dragged to once. I really went down to the woman who was selling programmes and nearly asked for a noose.
I think at least if you went, and had a meal with someone you didn't like particularly, at least
you can enjoy the meal, can't you?
Yeah. Depends whether it's just you and the other person.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, but if it was a person you didn't like, you wouldn't be at the... I mean, have you ever been at a meal with... I suppose we've all been at a social gathering with somebody that we don't like within a group.
Yeah, they tend to be like sort of Christmas meals, and you get sat next to the person that you really don't want to. But then
the boss.
When I used to work at the college, and there were lots of sort of senior military people, I would try and talk about travel, because although I couldn't talk about some of the things I presumed they'd like, i.e. sport, I thought, well, they'll have travelled, so I like talking about travel. So and sometimes I'd even sort of I felt that I could kind of show off about how much I'd travelled, because I got the feeling they thought that a lowly librarian probably just goes to Bognor for his summer holidays. So I would sometimes start the conversation and sort of I knew for instance that they'd all gone to New York for some seminar in December, and it'd be freezing cold and horrible, and I kind of said, oh, so yes, how did you, and I let him tell me about how awful and cold it was, and I was like, where you should have been? You should have been where I was. I was in Venice, and it was gorgeous weather, and I think the idea that I had been on holiday at the same time, or that, I mean, they'd been working, but I'd better use that as an excuse to take some leave, and I'd gone somewhere much warmer. But I kind of let them play. So I used to have a bit of fun with them if I thought that they were a bit snooty. Really, my holidays were nothing more glamorous than Europe or... I mean, I think around that time... Oh, no, it wasn't Venice. That's right. That was when I was dating Dominic. I'd been to LA in December, not Venice. So it really was nice weather and warm. I mean, for me...
You rich
LA
bitch.
In December was... I was like, you know where you should have been. You were the wrong side of America. You should have been where I was in LA. You would have been much warmer. So.
I'm the person that bumps into people who live in the next street along that I didn't know lived there. So the famous occasion is when I went. My mother wanted to go and see the International Tattoo up at Edinburgh, and we went up for 3 days. Before we went in to see the tattoo, we went for a meal and a whiskey tasting. Lethal that was. So we sat on this table, and it was a black tie thing, and we sat there, and my mum and there was this couple sat opposite, and they were really nice. And you do the usual pleasantries. Oh, where do you live? I said, I live on the Isle of Wight. So do we. And I went, okay, that's nice. Whereabouts do you live? Oh, I live in Seaview. So do we. Okay, getting a bit freaky now. I said, I go, which street do you live on? Oh, we live on the street behind you. I never saw them again after that. Even when I was back home, never saw them again. But yeah, I'm the person that will bump into. I can remember being in Greece, staying in Greece for a couple of weeks, having a holiday, and the people in the apartment next door to us lived 2 streets away from me. And, it's very weird. I attract people like that.
My parents remember us bumping into somebody from our village in Spain once. But the one that sticks with me was because at least that was quite a famous Spanish holiday resort, whereas I bumped into somebody from Salisbury Writers' Circle, an old lady from that group. So I wasn't even sure that she'd still be. I mean, it's difficult when you're a teenager. People seem a lot older, but I'm sure she was well into her 70s or maybe even her 80s. And I bumped into her on Alderney, of all of the Channel Islands.
Wow!
I really on the high street on Alderney. That wouldn't be the place I would expect to be bumping into people from Salisbury. That was a strange one. Okay, listeners, I hope you enjoyed whatever went in that section. Sorry, I can't be specific at time of recording. Anyway, the first guest has arrived. The first group of guests, I should probably say. It's Tallulah and Martin and Reginald. Hello, Paul. Hi, Reggie. It's good to be here. So marvellous for us to have Ikk back again.
Oh yes, my darling. I'm so excited to see him, even though I know he won't necessarily, know we're there.
Well, Cromitty thinks that he will sort of, I don't know, he'll better hear subconsciously or something. He'll better sort of, even the reverberations, the familiar reverberations of your voice through the ice will, it will reassure him and make him realise he's home.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm glad. Anything we can do to help, Ikk? Paul, you were so brave the other day. You and Toppy.
Well, thank you. I wish Toppy was here to hear you say that because...
Well, come on, Paul. You dragged him off to the other dimension and you used his magical talent, but it was your plan. You didn't really warn him of it, did you? So I think you should take most of the praise. Well, yes, my darling, I think you're right, Martin. Paul deserves all of the congratulations.
Yes, I agree. I mean, yes, Toppy was very helpful, but I think if you'd have told him, he would have run away, and not gone with you. Oh, I don't know about that. Toppy is my friend after all. I think, we'd do anything for one another. Toppy and I, we'd I think you underestimate him. I think, I guess I didn't tell him because I was, even as his good friend, I was slightly concerned that maybe he'd say no, and well, but I think had I been more honest with him and said, please come with me, he probably would have done.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, Paul. I suppose so.
Yes, well, he's a good man, is that Toppy? He is. And, anyway, Igg is back. You should probably go in one at a time. Is that all right? Perhaps if you file through.
It's kind of macabre, Paul.
Really?
Well, yes, he's laid there on that strange bed thing. It's like visiting somebody who's died.
Oh, well, I suppose so.
Yes, I mean, when the Queen died, and they had her in a coffin, and when people came to visit. I never quite understand those things. I'd rather remember somebody as they were when they were alive. But there you go, that's just me.
I tend to agree with you, my dear. Yes.
Who else is coming?
Who else is coming today? Well, Bettina and August are due, and I suppose Yeti Uncle John will come because I don't think Yeti Uncle John's sort of seen Ikk since we got him back. Well, not for any length of time. He's had a couple of days away, I think. Anyway, well, come on now, Tallulah. Let's go and speak to Ikk. Are we able to go in together, or is it just one at a time? Well, I suppose you two can go in together. Comment, is that all right? Oh, yes, that's fine. Come on through. See you afterwards. Tea and biscuits at the other end of the hall. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Oh, marvellous.
Your presence has been detected and recorded. Thank you.
Oh, I think that's Bettina and August arriving.
Oh, great. I can say hello to them.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, so what do I do? We just speak to him?
Yes, if you would.
All right. Hello, Ikk. It's me, Tallulah. Oh, we're so glad you're home. We can't wait till you wake up. Yes. Oh, I hope you're okay. Must have been through some horrible things. We're so proud of Paul and Toppy for rescuing you. Yeah, they did such a good job, didn't they, Reginald? Reginald's here, by the way.
Yes, I'm here, Ikk. Hello. We are very proud of Paul and Toppy. It's true, yes.
I wonder whether he even knows who you are, Reginald.
Oh, what do you mean? I guess you could be right, Tallulah. We don't quite know when Ikk was kidnapped. He may have been kidnapped even before you joined us, Reginald. Goodness, that long ago? Well, it's hard to say. No, he may have met you. He may not. Anyway, oh dear. It's all very complicated. I wish we knew.
Well, maybe we will when he wakes up. Wake up soon, Ikk, won't you? Wake up soon. How long do you think you'll be, Cromitty?
Well, a week, 2. His thawing process, and then he'll still be very weak, and it'll take a while for him to be back, his usual self.
Ah, well, but he's on the road to recovery.
He is, yes. Tallulah, if you'd like to read him a poem, or sing him a song, or read a story, it is also possible.
Oh, darling, I don't think I brought anything.
No, I mean, I could tell you an anecdote, but I think it might take some time. Well, maybe not this time. But you're welcome to come back.
Oh, thank you, we will.
Oh, yes, that would be lovely.
Hello, darlings. How is everybody?
I'm good, Bettina. Lovely to see you here. It's lovely to see you, August.
Oh, yes. Lovely to see you, too. I have brought a sketch pad. I thought I might sketch Ikk.
Yes, you're welcome to do that, of course.
Oh, darling. I'm supposed to be speaking to him. Oh, dear. Martin, how are you, darling? I'm all right. Yeah. Great to see you. Who else is here? Well, Mum's here and Reginald. Oh, I thought there'd be a few more.
Oh, Cromitty's waving. Martin, it's your turn.
Oh, darling, go and speak to him. Say something lovely. Oh, dear. I'm not really a man of words, but I'll do my best.
You'll be fine, Martin.
Oh, lovely. What should I say, Cromitty?
Just anything you like.
Oh, right. Ick, it's me, Martin. I wish I could hold one of your tentacles, instead of tentacles, and show some support for you, but you're all encased in ice, so I can't. But soon I will be able to, and we can go and have fish and chips together or something. Do you like fish and chips? I like fish and chips. Fish and chips are great. Yeah, we can go down the pub or something, or sit in the garden. Do you drink? I can't remember. Oh, anyway, it'd just be great to have you back, Ick. Everyday Ick, being everyday and lovely. All right? Yeah. Oh, blimey, I'm wittering now.
It's fine, Martin. It's fine. It's just, it'd be nice for him to hear your voice.
Oh, thanks. All right. I suppose I'll let somebody else have a turn.
Yes. Bettina, August, would you like to come in now?
Oh, darling, yes. Come on, August. Oh, all right. Where did I leave my sketch pads?
They're just there.
Oh, yes. Oh. The pencil's attached by a string. Oh, yes, darling. We don't want you losing your pencil, do we?
Come in.
Oh, dear darling. Oh, it's so strange to see him encased in ice like that. I can see how the ice is melting, though, very slowly.
Oh, yes, very slowly. It'll be a while yet, but anyway. And please, guys, feel free to say what you like to him.
Oh, all right. Ick, it's me, Bettina. How are you? Oh, we've had such a journey, such an adventure. We're very proud of Paul. I'm sure other people have said that. Yes, August, what do you have to say? I think he's one of the best subjects I've ever had to draw, because he doesn't move. Well, no, darling, he's in a block of ice. It's unlikely that he'll move too far. Oh, I suppose so. Well, anyway, Ick, you're a very good subject, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Exactly, darling. We look forward to seeing you very soon. I'm not sure I've got anything else I can say, darling. Property, is that all right?
Yes, that's fine. You just, whatever you want to say. That's all that needs to be said.
All right, then. Well, that'll be it. Have you finished sketching, darling? Almost, yes.
Would you rather have the ability to speak to animals or the ability to speak all languages?
Well, if you could speak all languages, wouldn't you be able to speak to animals anyway?
I think that is probably the only language you can't speak.
Ow, blast. No, I think I'd like to speak to animals.
I think I would, yeah.
Humans are a bit... Humans are so last year.
I mean, I guess you could make money from translation, or you could, but it would be very nice to be able to have a chat.
Imagine the gossip you could get from the pets about their owners.
I mean, I feel like Deals and I have learnt each other's languages over the years we've lived together, and we can do a lot of non-verbal, or even sort of...
Well, certain pets are more perceptive than others, aren't they?
Yeah. And I think Deals, being a house cat, he's only really known us, so he's picked up a lot of just facial movements or sort of slight indications for him to come and, he's like a vampire who needs to be invited up. He tends not to jump up on the sofa until you go, yeah, come on, or you make a sort of nod and he'll come up. But yes, thankfully he doesn't have the same biting habits as a vampire. But would you rather never be able to eat cake or never be able to eat pie again?
Oh, don't give me questions like this. I can't answer that question. That's ridiculous. Two staples of the human diet, and you're wanting to remove both of them. At which point, as soon as you said cake, it reminded me I've got some cake in the cupboard. I might have a slice later.
I've got some cake in the cupboard as well. I'm gonna have some.
All right, we'll have cake.
What's your cake?
I've got angel cake.
I've got like a Genoa sort of fruit cake from Marks and Spencer.
Are you a fruity cake person, or are you a sweeter tooth cake person?
No, I do like the sort of. The older I get, the less I like sweet things as much as I used to. I mean, I still like ice creams, but there were quite often I have things I'm like, oh, that's far too sweet. Like a Mars bar these days would be like, oh, too much. It's just so sweet. You almost can't taste anything but sugar.
I miss baked Alaska. You ever had baked Alaska?
I'm sure I must have done.
Yeah, it's like ice cream on a sort of sponge base with like a lemon meringue topping on it of yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've had it enough times. I would say, because also I'm being a bit cheeky here, I would rather never eat cake again, despite what I said, because I'm taking pie to be all kinds of pie.
No, you can't do this. You have to be more specific. Yeah, if you think about it, you can have a fruit pie, can't you?
Like, you can have a fruit pie, which you
I'll
can't
go
have.
with that. I'll go take the cake away.
I couldn't not have, like, say, kidney pie or...
don't like kidneys.
I don't mind kidneys.
Oh, no.
Particularly in the same kidney pie. But whatever pie. I couldn't get rid of my savoury pies. And,
I like a savoury pie. No, I go with you on that one, Paul. Yeah, cake can go. I can take the cake.
Cause it's best to be safe than sorry, because maybe it does just mean sweet pie. But then I probably like a cherry pie and custard more than I like a bit of cake. So even if it was just sweet pie, I would rather keep my pie.
I'm talking of pie, and this has totally got nothing to do with it whatsoever. When you used to work in London, did you ever go to Oxford Street, and did you go to the pie store inside Selfridges?
Don't think I ever did go to the pie store. There were various different. I'd say sort of like mid noughties to late noughties. There was a bit of a thing for posh pies, and a couple of companies where you could get pies, and maybe that was a spin-off of
that was a Square Pie Company that were there, and I used to go, and you could have a box of mash pies and baked beans. That was lovely. Yes. I'm hungry now. I want a pie.
Well, let's make your hunger even worse and do. I've got some breakfast ideas.
Ooh.
This doesn't always work.
Your place or mine?
Both. And yeah, sometimes what they put on this list, you think, well, this isn't breakfast stuff, but this is more just to kind of get a feel for yes or no. Well, because if I read you this list, by the time you get to the end of the list, you can never remember what was at the top of the list. But just say yes or no whether you fancy this This is for breakfast. Avocado eggs. Are you an avocado person?
No, I'm not an avocado person. It's it's just the texture of avocados that I don't like.
I do quite like avocados, but I've never thought of frying it, or I don't know how that was cooked. Baked. I don't know. I never thought about putting an egg in the middle of where the stone once was.
No.
No. What about bacon onion quiche? Not really a breakfast thing, I would have thought. Although
I know, but it's got the word bacon in it.
Yeah, I would still eat it.
Yeah, I'd still eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the cure for vegetarianism is bacon?
Yeah. What about pancakes or crepes for breakfast?
Right, you've sold me. Right, where are we having breakfast? I have a loving for crepes, savoury or sweet. Love a crepe.
Again, there used to be a bit of a thing in London with stalls that did fresh crepes.
I like going to the Waffle House off of High Street Kensington. They do a lovely range of free ad there. Hope I get a free crepe next time, folks. I like going there and having crepes.
I remember going up to Hampstead and doing a walk on Hampstead Heath and going up to the big house up there. What's that called? Big White House, and then sort of walking out into Hampstead, and there was a stall just on the high street that did crepes at one point. I don't know if they're still there. What about ham and potato hash?
No, I can leave that. What, for breakfast? No. No, this is sort of a continental thing, having meats for breakfast, isn't it? Really. I find that a bit, because if it was a hash, it'd be. I don't know. No, I don't think I would.
I always find, because when we have hash browns over here, they tend to be in a shape. They're sort of, when you tend to have them in America, they tend to be not confined into a certain. They're more like loose and
loose.
Yeah. I kind of like hash browns when they're sort of a little bit constricted. They're not allowed to. They can't escape too much. But
I find them a bit oily and greasy. They sup up. It depends how they're cooked, I suppose. If they're deep fried, they sup up all the oil, and I don't like that.
Well, I find that about. I love crepe, but I'm not a big fan of the pancakes you get in American diners.
No,
there's going to be a lot of gasping out there, probably for American listeners. But I just find that you pour, like, say, the treacle or whatever it is, on the
syrup,
the syrup. They just keep sucking it up, and you think, I must have put far too much on there. And then you look down a minute later, and it looks like you've put nothing on there. And then when you start to eat them, you're like, where's the syrup gone? I can barely taste the syrup. It's sucked up the syrup, but the syrup's being transported to another dimension or something.
You know, there's a creature inside it that consumes syrup, don't you?
Yeah,
I reckon there's a hole under the table, and it's filling up the syrup pot next door.
Yeah. Next up, we have pumpkin bread rolls. They're in a shape of a pumpkin, but I don't know if there's actually pumpkin in it. I don't think they look quite nice.
I once spent a drunken night in a room full of pumpkins, and that put me off pumpkins for life. The smell of the pumpkin put me off, and I've never sort of forgotten that drunken haze moment. Being also waking up surrounded by pumpkins is very surreal. How I got there, I shall not tell you.
We'll hypnotise you one day. We'll get comedy to hypnotise you. Peaches. I mean, I like peaches, but not for breakfast. And
not for. I like the shape of peaches. But no, not for breakfast. Not for breakfast.
Apple cinnamon pancakes. I mean,
yes, it's got the word cinnamon in there.
Oh, you like cinnamon? Because some people don't. But I prefer cinnamon. The sort of, or what do they call, like the cinnamon Danish type ones. I like those.
I like cinnamon Danish.
I mean, I wouldn't.
But you can't. You've given cakes up. Don't do a cinnamon pie, do they? I suppose you could do an apple pie with cinnamon.
This is a different reality. We've scrubbed all that now. What about freshly squeezed? Well, this is freshly squeezed tangerine juice.
Oh, that's much sweeter, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I like fresh juices.
Who doesn't?
I like tangerine. I do sometimes think those poor tangerines, or those poor oranges. There's, about 7 of them have had to die just to get you a glass of. It feels like they shouldn't be so. It shouldn't take so many.
I worry about the oranges when they pile them into the machine and squeeze them. You can hear them screaming. Yeah.
Like, please, no, have mercy on there. What about baked apple slices? Not for breakfast. I mean,
no. That's sort of a dessert thing, isn't it?
Yeah, something's been sprinkled on it. I don't know if that's cinnamon or whether that's
illegal.
Whether that's some dandruff or or sugar.
I wonder what you're going to say then.
What about baked eggs with salsa?
Salsa, did you say?
Yeah, salsa.
Yeah, I'm not a spicy guy. I am spicy, but I don't eat spice. I don't. My tummy doesn't tolerate spices very well. So no, I'd have to pass on that one.
We'll leave that one out. Last thing I want to do, if I can find it, is truth or dare. The only thing is, you won't be able to do the dare, but we can find. If you don't want to answer, we can still find out what you would have had to have done. Yeti Uncle John got me doing truth or dare, and have you ever laughed at a totally inappropriate moment?
Yep.
Can you talk about it?
At a funeral. Because I remembered the filthy joke that the person who passed away told me, and they were doing the eulogy, and they were saying he had a wit and an observational eye for a situation and would like to share it with people. And of course, I was triggered, and I went and put my hand over my face because I realised I was in the middle of a funeral.
I'm sure I have done. I mean, as much as anything, when I've definitely corpsed when I've been doing, the podcast sometimes I've corpsed, but like when we were doing scripts more with Nick's plays or films, definitely occasionally sort of made each other laugh when you were trying to get a serious scene done. Sometimes when there's not much time left as well.
Yes.
Had you not answered that question, your dare would have been to wear your underpants. Oh no, wear your underwear over your pants for the rest of the day. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I thought it was going to say wear your underwear over your head. But I guess. I mean, pants being trousers. So
pants being trousers. I was going to say I was confused then. I do that anyway.
Yeah. What is the best lie you convinced someone that was true?
Gosh.
I can't necessarily, for myself, I can't necessarily think of a specific one, but I have been known to exaggerate or kind of to win an argument, particularly if my dad's being annoying. I might say, but I read an article, and they said exactly what I want them to say for me to win the argument. I'm like, so it's difficult to really kind of have that other opinion, isn't it? Because
I can't think of anything. I'm sure I have, but I can't think of anything off the cuff.
I mean, it wasn't really my lie, but a mutual friend of ours was convinced that somebody existed and they didn't exist, and I got pulled into it because our mutual friend wanted to meet the person who didn't exist, and I kind of let it go on, I suppose, thinking it was slightly amusing. But when it came to hearing that they were going to try and meet the person who didn't exist, I thought it was a bit unfair to make them travel all the way to Bristol to meet someone who didn't exist. So I then had to get involved and say, the person phoned me up and said that that they're going away and they're not going to be in Bristol anymore, so they'll be in touch. So I was like pulled into this game that my other friend had been playing.
I think I might have done something similar and done a date thing when I was like in my late teens, and then sort of went on the date, and it was a horrific date. So I pretended to be lodger, their roommate, and every time this person called up, I was never in. That's a terrible thing to do. Or he doesn't live here. That's it. He doesn't live here. We've had lots of callers, but he doesn't live here.
Had we not answered the question, the dare would have been. Now, I don't know quite what this is. It's probably American. Let each member of the group give you a wet willy. I don't think that's as exciting as it sounds. Well, I'm not sure. I mean, it depends who you're playing with, I suppose. Is that something? What is a wet willy? What
William, come over here, please.
What? I'm going to have to Google this.
You stick a wet finger. You stick a wet finger in someone's ear. That's a wet willy.
Right, okay, we don't need to. I thought it was something like that, but I
stay there. Put your ear to the microphone.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I might get you to come back and do that again later.
It's big colds, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just do one more.
Went all the way through.
Oh dear. Well, I'm very old. Have I just gone and lost the? Have I just gone and? Oh no, here it's in front of me. I'm going. Where's the site? I closed it down and it's in front of me. Let's do one last one. Have you ever blamed a pet for something you did?
Yes, and it's always going to be breaking wind.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's always going to be breaking wind or eating that last piece of cake that was left on show at the on the worktop in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
I've done that.
Sometimes I have, but it's almost been like Toby said, "Oh, Dealey's done." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just had to close something up. It's fine." And actually it was me, but I've kind of let him. He's made the presumption it's Dealey, so I've let Dealey take the blame.
We used to have a Great Dane, and it was quite prolific because Great Danes break wind and then they flap their tail around just to make sure everybody gets a waft of it.
I think this some of these dares are like, okay, I wouldn't mind doing that, and some of them are like, oh, that's quite full on. Because the dare for this one was call your mum and say you've gotten engaged or divorced. I think I'd want to do that.
I went to a party once where we did this truth or dare, and there were 4 of us guys and 3 girls, and this was when I was about 30, and 2 guys were 2 firemen, and 2 girls were, one was one of the firemen's partners and one was just a friend of the others. That's it. No, it wasn't. It was an equal 3 girls, 3 boys, and they were firemen. The guys, and one of them was the partner of another. Anyway, so truth or dare. So one of them was to do one of the firemen up in full makeup, and he was to run round in his underpants down this cul-de-sac in Suffolk at about 3 a.m. I remember him doing that. What was I doing? I was doing. I had to play pass the ice cube with the girls in my underwear. Problem was I wasn't wearing any, and I said that, and they said that's acceptable, but you have to demonstrate that fact. And I went no, and I lost my trousers at that point.
No, well, you're well versed in truth or dare. Before we go, Yeti Uncle John has just come in and wants to say
hi, Yeti Uncle John.
Oh, hello. I was just hearing about your stories back in the day. Oh yes, sounds good fun. Yes, I once did.
How about you?
Yes, I once did something undescribable with a banana, but I had to put it in my ear, and then had to pass it to another person in their ear. The only thing is, it's a bit like you were saying when you were giving Paul a wet willy. Well, I passed it to somebody, and the banana it just vanished. I think he just had very big. I don't know.
Big ears.
He had very big ears, and so presumably somewhere in his brain there's an old banana hanging around. I don't know. Don't know what happened to that guy. I hope he's still well.
That'll ferment and become banana wine after a while.
That might be why I haven't had a Christmas card from him for 17 years. I ought to have asked him, hadn't I? Are you all right, mate? But might be why he never replied. But oh dear, it's funny. Once I came out of the pub once, and I back when I used to use a bicycle, and I used to have to cycle. It was all right. It was the wrong way round, basically. The pub was at the bottom of the hill, and my flat was at the top of the hill. So, you know, it was very easy coming down the hill, like when you were sober. But really, you could have done with it being the other way round. So there I was. I came out of the pub after a few bevies and got on my bike, and I was like, oh, this ride up the hill is more tiring than usual. And I looked down, and someone's only gone and clobbered my wheels, so they're like triangles. And I thought
triangular wheels?
Well, that's why I wasn't going very fast. It was like oh dear. I had to have my back seen to after that. Still, I managed to sell that bike to somebody. I had a friend who was a bit stupid. He liked bikes though, and he liked triangles, funnily enough. So he bought. I mean, I guess I could have just replaced the wheels, but I told him it was a rare bike from the early 1400s. Told him it was an antique, so I was able to buy. I was able to get a flat at the bottom of the hill, and then I didn't have to go up the hill after the pub. So
Yeti Uncle John, always on the make, aren't you? You know a good con when you can see one, don't you?
I mean, it's one of the reasons I do try and it's always good to have at least one friend in your friend group who's a little bit stupid and will fall for things. I mean, why do you think I hang around Mr. Yeti so much?
Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh.
Only joking. No.
Oh, that's not good.
I better go. The magpies, I can hear them.
Oh yeah, they're good.
I can hear them squawking though, which means that it's time to watch another episode of Inspector Morse, because we usually sit down just before bed and we watch an episode of Inspector Morse. They're quite long though. I wish we'd chosen a series with shorter episodes, but anyway, they always try to.
You sound in fine fettle, Yeti Uncle John. I must say.
I am. I must tell them not to give away the ending though. They always give them away. They always say, "Oh, it's him. I'm like, "Oh, stop it! Don't tell me." Oh dear. Anyway, I better go. Hope you've had a nice time recording.
I have. I've had an absolutely wonderful time recording.
We'll have a proper catch up soon, I suppose.
Oh yeah, we're due a catch up, Yeti Uncle John. We're definitely due a catch up.
Well, I better go.
All right.
And thanks, Yeti Uncle John, and thanks, Warren, and
my pleasure. My pleasure, dear heart.
We'll get back to the rest of the show now, I suppose. Oh dear. Anyway, give me another wet willy. go through in a minute. I need to have a sit down first anyway. What have you been thinking, evil Ick?
I've been thinking that there is other things going on in the normal dimension.
What do you mean?
When I was there, I met somebody and I knew something wasn't right. In fact, it's something that could cause a different kind of explosion.
Whatever are you talking about?
Well, when I was there, I met a man called Reginald. Yes, I wasn't sure what to make of him. I knew he was no ordinary man.
Oh yes, not from our dimension.
No, this one was a beast. A demon in human form.
Oh really?
Yes, once I homed in on it, I sensed that there was another, a rival demon, also in the area, and I didn't fully understand the implications or the backstory to it, but I think that whole business will eventually explode.
How wonderful, a double whammy of chaos.
Yes, I think there's quite a lot going to happen very soon.
I can't manage this laughing business anymore, it makes me cough.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine. So, comedy, has everyone had their turn? Yes, everybody but Yeti Uncle John. I think Yeti Uncle John's half asleep. Well, you better wake him up if he wants to come through. Also, there'll be no biscuits left if he's not careful. What? No biscuits? I'm all awake now. Come on, show me through. I'll speak to Ick, it's fine. All right, come on then. We might as well all walk through. Yes, that would be a good idea. Yes, oh dear, oh dear. Poor old Ick, encased in ice. Yes, but it won't be for much longer. But I suppose you have to wait for the ice to melt naturally, so he wakes up. Yes, exactly that, yes, Uncle John. Well, shall we leave you to say your words? Yes, I could do with a cup of tea. Don't take too long, Yeti Uncle John. I won't. See you in the tea room. Yes, Paul, yes. Oh dear, Ick. It's quite something to see you in this state. I'm so glad that Paul and Toppy were able to bring you home. They risked life and limb to do that. Shows how much they love you. Are you worried about Paul? Yeah. Still. You'll be back with us soon, that's the main thing. Do you mind if I sit down? I'm really quite sleepy. You won't mind if I have another little nap, will you? You know what I'm like. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Hey, Uncle John, are you asleep? Don't spoil over the equipment. You'll get ice water all over you for a start. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, dear. Come on through. Blimey, he doesn't want you falling asleep all over him. Come and get some tea and biscuits. Oh, now you're talking, Paul. I'm coming. Oh, anyway, Ick, see you soon. You be careful and, yeah. Come on. I'm coming. Oh, gosh. Oh, dear. Anyway, listeners, that's all we've got time for. Hopefully, in a week or two, it'll be back with us. And it'll all be nice and lovely, and it'll all be cool. It'll be good. So, you take care. And we've got plenty of episodes in the can. Join us again soon. And, bye-bye for now. I need to get my tea and biscuits before they all go. All right. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Hello, is that you, Dad? Albert. Hello. How you doing? Oh, just eating up the last of the biscuit crumbs. Oh, what's been going on? Oh, we had a little sort of, I guess you'd call it a meet and greet for Ick. Oh, the returning star. I thought he was still in suspended animation. He is, yes. But Poverty seemed to think that hearing familiar voices would be good for his recovery. Oh, that's marvellous, Paul. How much longer before you expect to hear from him? I think it's going to be a week or two yet. But he's slowly thawing out. Oh, marvellous. And who else was there? Oh, well, Tallulah and oh my goodness. August and Tia and Martin. Oh, gosh, what's going on here? Poverty, what's wrong? Oh, something dreadful has happened. Albert, I better go. Do you mind? Poverty's having a panic about something. I need to find out what. No problem. I'll see you soon. Let me know. I hope everything's okay. I'm sure it will be. Oh, goodness. Poverty, what is it? Bye now. Bye-bye, Dad. Bye. Poverty, what's up? Something happened to a guest or something? No, the guests have all gone. Oh, dear. Oh, gosh. What is it? It's Ick. Oh, the temperature dial has gone right up. The temperature dial? It's gone right up? Yes. Right to maximum. To maximum? How long's that been like that? I don't know. One of the visitors must have touched something. But I was there the whole time. He's thawing too quickly. Much too quickly. Can't you reverse it? No, it's too late. The process is nearly completed. Well, how soon will he wake up? Could be any time now. Who on earth could have touched this? Oh no. Oh dear. What, Paul? There's only one person it could be. There was only one person who visited him when you weren't in the room. Yeti Uncle John. I think so. I mean, I found him slumped over the device. He fell asleep whilst he was talking to Ick. Oh, that Yeti. Oh, John. Oh, dear. He wouldn't have realised what he did. He didn't do it deliberately. But we shouldn't have left him, I suppose. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I just don't know what it means for Ick. Well, he'll be fine, I'm sure. I don't know, though. I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, golly.
I gotta go now! Bye! Gotta go! Bye!
Goodbye.
It's been good, but yeah, definitely time to come home now.
Wow. Really? No kidding.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com.
What's going on now?
Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Let's go.
I have a voice. I have a voice.
You have a voice.
You have a voice. We have a voice.
We have a voice.
Unique voices in podcasting.
UnivazPods.net.
That is so cringe, oh my god. You're a man of culture as well.
I did what? Apparently, when you fell asleep on the device, you must have knocked something. It is defrosting at a rapid speed, and it's too late to slow it down. Cromitty's in bits. Oh, poor... Oh, I didn't know. No, you never do you? Oh, dear. No, you just stay where you are. I just thought that I ought to tell you anyway, because you're bound to hear from Cromitty. And well, everyone's going to hear soon, aren't they? They weren't expecting Ikk to return so quickly, but now he could be back in hours, minutes. Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine. How can you say that? How do you don't know? Cromitty is definitely very distressed. Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but anyway. Paul! Oh, Cromitty's calling now. I better go. So tell him I'm sorry. Paul! Quick! Come quick! Right, I'll speak to you later, Yeti Uncle John. I'm sorry, Paul. Oh, I'm really sorry. It's all right. I'm going. Paul! I'm coming. I was just trying to have a word with Yeti Uncle John. Oh, it's too late for that now. He did say he was sorry. Well, as they say, it's too late for that. Look at him. Look at Ikk. Oh, my goodness, listeners. All the ice has melted away. Oh, dear. Oh, dearie dear. Is he going to be okay? Well, I mean, I've put the next step into action because it's too late to freeze him again. I just don't know. I only know about suspended animation in humans. I don't know if things are different with aliens. I can only hope so. I can only hope that we didn't need to take things as slowly as we were. I'm sure he'll be all right. He's waking. Oh my goodness, he's waking. Ikk, can you hear us? It's me, Paul, and Cromitty. Ikk, can you hear us?
Mother, father, is it really you?
Oh dear, he's hallucinating. And Ikk, no, it's not your mother and father, it's me, Paul, and it's Cromitty.
Paul! Cromitty! It's so good to see you.
Oh, Ikk. Oh, we have you back. Oh, it's marvellous. He doesn't seem too bad, does he, Cromitty? No. Things look okay. I mean, obviously I'll need to do some sort of medical at some point, but he seems to be recovering fine.
I've been in a long sleep, I think.
You have, Ikk. The other dimensional people, I don't know, they suspended you because you kept trying to escape. Well done, by the way.
So I'm really home?
You're really home, back in the normal dimension.
Thank goodness. I feel very weak.
Well, you're bound to. By the way, Ikk, if you still want to negotiate your contract, you can have anything you like. Paul, it's not the time for business. I know.
Oh, Paul, don't be stupid. That wasn't me. That was him. I don't care about contracts and money, and I heard all about what he was saying. I love the Shy Life podcast. I don't need anything.
Ikk, are you okay? He's very weak, Paul. Sounds like he wants to stay with us. I mean, I always said at the time, there've been lots of plot lines involving him. And really, it didn't make any sense that he wanted to leave. Yes, but as they say, it's not the time for business. He needs to rest. Ikk, you need to rest.
I need to rest. It's good to be back. Shy Life podcast rules okay. Woohoo!
He's sleeping now, Paul. Let him sleep. So excited, he's back. You're just excited he doesn't want to leave the show. Probably don't say that. It's not true. I'm excited that he's, considering what his Uncle John did, that he recognised us and he's going to be okay. Yes, things are going to be okay. It's fine. They will be okay. Yes. Thank goodness for that. Oh, yes. I bet they think things are going to be fine. That things are going to be okay.
Yes. They'll soon see.
Yes, they'll soon see. Yes, enough of that. As I say, I can't keep doing that, laughing. No, just... it hurts my throat.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Keep it rolling. Definitely got to have cake. Okay, away you go. That was beautifully done. I'm going to have a club. No, I'm going to have some orange squash now. It's an exciting life. And then I am going to have a game or two of, what's that game called? Fortnite! Well, it's only 9:30. Thank you, darling. And you too. Bye-bye.
Et voilà.